That's the highest the machine can peak right there. Okay, so we're loaded up and we're gonna get on our little walkabout. Yeah, some of you have seen this happen. There's been quite a few videos made about this, and then we pulled off the site. Really for want of better tech, and then we got to develop our own software. Then we had to have a fully big website to support the software. And then we ended up making that way overkill, and then Google and everybody changed the way their browsers work. Android changed the way the phones work. One big choreographed alteration, and then our online program would no longer work. So we've been trying to tackle that heavily for the last couple of months, which we've been able to do by developing our own browser, like Google and Firefox and all that. But we just developed one from scratch. So getting around all the phone and sensor data and information and all that stuff has been rather tedious, to say the least, because they really don't want you to know exactly how to get around all that stuff. So to use all what the phone's got, get around their spying. And so we developed a browser that accesses all the sensors and camera and mic, and then we run our online software with that. So it's pretty amazing stuff, but we just barely got this complete, so just barely getting some time to get in the field. And finances have been rough as crazy this year, so hopefully the Geo Pro 3D stuff will start rolling, free up some finances so we can get back out in the field. But I've been needing to go out really bad. So now we're coming on to where Billy shot the whatever it was. He said thought it was a mountain lion, but when he shot it, it ran off on 2 legs. And that's going to be right up here on top of this rock mass, right where we're headed right now. That's where he hit it. So we got to watch the ground. I mean, who knows? Not much runs off on 2 legs. We'll go up this. A little staircase there. Cool. We'll zip back in here once we get rolling. So out here is a turtle on the front edge. You turn around this, and I hate to say, and then right next to it, actually, from the turtle at the front edge, is a little rabbit. It's kind of hard to see. And then you turn. This is the mouth of a snapping turtle. And then you have an upright monument up on top up here that has a triangle on the front lower part of the base. And then you look that way and you got another turtle head pointing that way. So everything is on this path this way, out that direction. All the monuments facing here anyway. So no, none of that's ever been worked. We haven't worked out at all. This will be another time. But I just thought as we walked by, I'd show you kind of how this worked. And dissimilar rocks like this one right here that you can see, it didn't fall from here. It's not a piece of either one of these pieces of outcrop. It's not a piece of the edge. So that's laid there and has a linear knife edge form to it. And so you probably use that to align with something over there, whether it be on the other side or not. And then on that side over there, that flat is an area we want to hit because there's an angled access like an old cut that would access that pad down the bottom. That's a really good place for a camp. There's no exposed rock there, which is interesting. But all this is for later survey. So. This is the pad, right? Yeah. So this is one spot I wanted to check with the big one. And so right out here on this side is where I got the old axe head. So right behind the rock that's right to my hand here. And it was found just on the back side of this rock. And so it was period late 15s, maybe early 1600s, all by itself. And you can see this area is devoid of a lot of what exists everywhere else. And you have a deep dirt fill here for some reason. And it's just not like anywhere else. So, and then out front you have another, you want to pan out there a little bit, right out here where the grass you see is actually a huge dirt area as well. It's not even a pebble in it. Almost looks processed, but who knows. So, but we want to hit this area today with the deep pulse induction after we do the main site. And the chisel and the crossbow bolt tip came from just below this feature. So all three of those together kind of make something. Somebody was definitely here in the late 15s. Yeah, there's definitely. It's deep, but there's something there. So we'll hit this with a pulse induction when we come back up and we'll see what that is. But I did this whole pad before and I didn't get anything, but I've got the detector cranked pretty high now. Nothing, it's not a bunch of ghost signals because we don't have a lot out.
You got the pulse inductor in the pack?
Yeah. Break out the old Octa Relic hunter here.
All right. All right.
So just listen to the tone that comes off this machine. You should be able to hear it from the camera. There was actually no response where the blue clay is, where I thought something should be. But this is interesting. Just listen to this. You might have to follow me. That's the highest the machine can peak right there. That's about as good as it gets. Now this machine, God knows how deep it'll actually punch on a major load. We're a lot closer to the edge than I thought anything would be. But there's something throwing a massive response. So this pulse induction will throw a field probably 50 feet in diameter overall. But you notice it's not picking up the camera, my bracelet. Then it will. So whatever's down here is considerable compared to this stuff. And then the max depth is supposed to be about 15 feet on something about 18 inches across, like a metal pot lid. But if you put a pile of gold or whatever, I have no idea how deep it'll go. But this that kind of response is about as good as it gets. I don't know where it is. Probably tell where it is.
Under that slab.
I'd say it's there under this edge that way, but it still sounds pretty damn deep. So now we're going to change coil size to we're going to change coil size down to a 1 meter and see if we can still pick this up, and that'll give me a lot better idea about depth.
Okay.
So, and aim it up at me real quick. Okay. So we went ahead and reduced the coil size from a 2 meter down to 1 meter, as you can see down here. And the settings are basically the same. And what's happened is I've lost the target overall at the top, but when I lower it to the ground, it sounds off like crazy. So you can see here, I can set it down. I'm not having an issue. So we're beyond the limit of the 1 meter loop, but well within the range of the 2 meter loop. So we skyrocketed that one. And when I back this all the way off, I do pick this thing up, but it's just on the outer limits of it. So it's pretty amazing. I can zero it out one time, way out of the field. There we are. So that's basically the exact same result we got on the bigger loop. It's just right on the outside of the small setup's ability. So it could be 15, 20 feet down to the target if it's a decent sized target. So, and now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and take a real quick scan of this with a metal detector. Even though it's going to be 15, 20 feet deep, we're still going to see what we can get back off this old White's Classic 3 here. As you can see, it's been heavily modified, buttons replaced. It's like 30-year-old detector or something. And so the way we're going to do this is we're going to go to the phone, to our app here, and the Geo Pro 3D V8 app. Go to our favorites, pick the analyzer page. It'll come up, and then I'm going to hand my phone over here to Tara, and we're going to throw this program onto the detector here. Oops, just like you see here. And this is going to enable us to ground scan with this old White's. And so I'm just going to plug in a USB-C adapter and plug it directly into the detector itself. Just like that. And then it switched USB audio, so it knows what we just did there. I'm going to reduce this down a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and bring our gain back down here, start our feed. Now this is going over a data connection, and I can see we're a good feed. That's our detector target first hit. Looks like we're sitting on our amp at 70 something, so I'm just going to bring my gain cut down a little bit. 30, 40, that's really beautiful. So I'll lock my controls, and then I'm going to pick rate and count of my scan. You can see here on these bars, and this is, so I'm going to start my live scan. And so to actually create a scan now, I'm just going to back up, and I'm going to hit live scan. I'm not going to change anything. Well, I guess we will set our detector here real quick. So I can go up here and I can select my detector and go down and select White's Electronics. Let's see, Classic 3. Okay, now we are set as a VLF detector, 8-inch coil. I'm running a 10, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Doesn't really matter. That's just for the AI later, so it has a reference. And I'm going to keep it on my live scan. Hit the live scan button. Just counting down 3, 2, 1, and we're scanning. And I'm just going to go ahead and continue this. Okay, so that was basically our first test scan. Make sure we got it. Now we're going to go up and create a real one here. I'm going to do that by naming it. We'll just, for now, I can rename it later. I'll call it IP for intuition point. And let's see, 11, 10, this makes it easy, 20, 25. Okay, and we're good to go there. And so now we're going to, this sets a brand new file. And we got our detector established. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do a 20 count on the scan because it's a longer line. Oops, 28, not 28, 20. Okay, and then we're ready to go. So now I'm going to go ahead and perform a real scan. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and, let's get that off of there. I'm going to go ahead and, again, start scan. It's going to start my timer. Here you go, babe. And we are off. And that's going to be our first line. And all we do is, again, just run back over here. We're just going to hit the scan button. It's going to count down for us. 1 and 0. And I'm scanning again. And next one. I'm taking about 1 sample per foot, so I move over a foot. Okay, and then just real fast to make sure we got that data, we'll go down here into, oops, where am I at? Oh, browse scans, that's right. So we're going to look in browse scans. We look and we've got we've got it right there, IP 111025. We're going to go ahead and download it. Download. Okay, so we've downloaded the file, and we're going to go ahead and just open it in the AI chart. I'm going to go to downloads. Size target. So, but that's super positive. That's the first real positive we've had on this hit. And this was just an idea. That's why we called it Intuition Point. But cool, with that, man, we're going to say thank you very much.